back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, my name is Kayla, and here we love to talk about all things luxury and high-end makeup and beauty. So today we are going to be talking about the best makeup of 2022 thus far, and let me tell you, there are some good products. So if that's something that you're interested in seeing, then just keep watching. So first off, I apologize in advance for my nasally-ness, if that's even a word. I've been sick, hence why I didn't have any videos last week. Not COVID, but I'm still kind of going through that, so I apologize for how my voice sounds, but it is what it is. I'm feeling better, so that's good. So I want to start out with foundations. Now, this has been like such an amazing year for foundations so far. Like the two specifically that I'm going to mention have made it into my like all-time favorites, and they came out this year. So first I want to start with what is on my face. And it is this Rare Beauty Tinted Moisturizer. I have it in the lightest shade 10N. Like I said, it's what I'm wearing on my face today. This is a tinted moisturizer, but it's blurring and it's dewy, but without being too dewy. And a lot of times I think when people hear tinted moisturizer, they think of just this really, really sheer, like glossy, greasy almost finish, but this is not that at all. It just provides, as you can see, the most skin-like natural finish to the skin while blurring. And in my experience, this is the only tinted moisturizer that I've ever tried that actually like blurs my skin while I'm wearing it, and I just think it's so, so beautiful. I'm not a huge fan of the Rare Beauty foundation, but this is just magical, and I really, really love it. I did a full review. Actually, I did a full review of a lot of these products, so the ones that I did, I will link down below, this being one of them. So this next foundation, the only reason I didn't put this one on today is because I've been wearing this one a lot. Like in my videos, I've talked about it a lot more than the Rare Beauty Tinted Moisturizer. So it is this Cosis Revealer Foundation. Y'all, I know I have gone on and on and on about this one. It is just absolute perfection. It made it into my top 5 foundations of all time. It is just a great all-around foundation, and it lasts. Like the lasting power of this foundation is just amazing to me. I have worn it, like I said, in this Louisiana heat, and it has lasted all day while still looking flawless. I don't think that this will work for people with oily skin, but let me know in the comment section down below if you have oily skin and you like this foundation. I really am curious to see how it works on oilier skin types, but for normal to dry skin, this is beautiful, and it is definitely one, in my opinion, of the best foundations of all time. And of course, one of the best foundations that has been released this year. Next, I want to talk about powders. So one powder that has been released this year that has stuck out to me the most is this Westman Atelier Vital Press Skincare Powder. I have it in the translucent shade, and this, I was using it to set all over my face, but as you can see, it's not a lot of product and it's very small. So I think I will continue using my other powders to set all over my face, but this to set under the eyes is absolutely magical, okay? It is worth every single penny. It mattifies without making your skin look matte or cakey. It just still looks very skin-like, and it definitely prolongs the wear of the foundation or concealer that I put it over. I mean, naturally, our concealer is gonna crease by the end of the day, right? Because we're making facial expressions, we're talking, right? But this definitely causes my concealer to crease less than other powders that I have used in the past while still looking natural. You could cake on a powder, you could bake per se, and that will cause your concealer not to crease, but in my opinion, it looks cakey. This does that same thing without making it look cakey. My only downside, and if you have a recommendation as to how to combat this, is it does get hard pan. I don't know if the camera is gonna pick it up. It could be because I use my beauty blender to set under my eyes, but it's getting hard pan. It still comes out. It's not like the type of hard pan where you can't even get any product. But if you have any suggestions as to how to combat that, other than like not using the beauty blender, let me know. But like, I don't even care, because this for setting under the eyes and all over the face, if you're able to afford this, it's just beautiful. And if you haven't checked it out yet, I highly recommend checking it out. So next, I'm just kind of going in the order of how I would apply my makeup. I don't have any concealers that came out this year that I still reach for. My Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate, my Fit Glow concealer. Today I'm wearing the Rare Beauty concealer just because I have that Rare Beauty Tinted Moisturizer on. So nothing that's come out this year has really stuck out to me. So next is bronzer. And I have two that have really captured my heart this year. The first one being this Shantakai Anti-Aging Face Tint. Now, I know this is a face tint, but for me and for my fair skin, this works as a bronzer. It's beautiful, y'all. You need the tiniest little amount. It's extremely pigmented, and it just looks so natural on the skin. It really makes you look sun-kissed. I have yet to try this like all over my face before putting my foundation on. I don't know, just because it is so pigmented, I'm kind of afraid to, so I think I'll just stick to using it as a bronzer. But it's got all the Shantakai anti-aging skincare benefits. This is not what I have on my face today. That's what I'm going to talk about next. But it's beautiful. It definitely gives you that warmth and that glow. So if you're not into like very warm toned things, you probably won't like this. But when I really just want that like just been out in the sun kind of bronzy look, I reach for this. And honestly, this is what I reach for the most on an everyday basis, just because it does look so natural and it's so quick and it's so easy. So this was a wonderful release this year. The next bronzer I want to talk about is what I have on my face today, and it is this Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer. I have it in the lightest shade Fair, and first off, the pan is massive. And I know there's mixed reviews on this, but I really love this bronzer. It definitely is a thicker texture, so you don't need much. And on my skin, it's not too warm, it's not too cool. It's just this like perfect neutral bronzer. And what I love about this one as compared to like the Shantakai and some of the other cream bronzers that I love, like the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate, the Salt New York Sculpt and Bronze Cream Tint Pros, this one sets down. It doesn't have a tacky finish. It almost is like a cream bronzer that has a powder finish. But when I say powder finish, I don't want you to think that like just cakey kind of powder. It's very natural and blurring, and it sets down, and I love this one. I really do. I'm gonna go ahead and do a swatch of this one next to the Shantakai. So here is the Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Fair. And then here is the Shantakai Anti-Aging Face Tint. Obviously, two completely different textures, okay? But as you can see, the Shantakai is a lot more warm than the Charlotte Tilbury. It's more of a gel texture, whereas the Charlotte Tilbury, it's like a natural satin kind of finish. I love them both, and I definitely think that this year they have been, in my opinion, the two best bronzer releases. Next, I want to talk about blush. So this is like brand new. It's not a new product, but it is a new shade, and it's what I have on my cheeks today, and it's the Phytosurgeons Skin Spark blushes in their Toasted series. Here I have the shade Condensate. It's, like I said, what I have on my cheeks today. The Skin Spark formula is not new, but like I said, this Toasted line is, and y'all, let me tell you, I know I've been looking for a cool toned blush. I have definitely found it in this blush. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and swatch it for y'all. I still have the other two on my hand. Look at that muted mauve, almost like a gray undertone goodness. I know that's a really, really thick swatch, but sheared out on my cheeks, y'all, these blushes, they're really something else. And I'm so glad that they released this Toasted series because the formula is so amazing, and it's nice to have some neutral shades in this formula. And since I've gotten it, I've worn it every day. It's beautiful. And if you haven't checked their blushes out, you need to. Like, a run, do not walk. They're amazing. So next for blush slash cheek, this will kind of bridge our next two categories. Let's put it that way. It's this Shantakai Sunbeam Cheek and Eye Shade. I've gone on and on about this, y'all. It is so, so beautiful for the cheeks, for the eyes. It's a multi-purpose product, and I just absolutely adore it. I'm gonna swatch it for y'all actually on my arm because I ran out of space on my hand, but it is just the most beautiful coppery, golden, rose gold beautifulness. And on the eyes, it's stunning. On the cheeks, it literally makes you look like you have glass skin every time you wear it because it is that gel powder formula, that baked gelée, and it's beautiful. It's limited edition, and it's expensive, but I definitely, in my opinion, one of the best releases. And the packaging, I know it's controversial, but I adore the packaging. I think it's so much fun. So this was another great blush slash eye, which is what we're gonna talk about next release this year. So next, let's talk about eyeshadows. So the Shantakai Cheek and Eye Shade, definitely one of the best in the eyeshadow category and cheek. But as far as eyeshadows, I didn't even realize that these were released this year. I was actually watching Michelle Wong's video where she did the best of 2022 so far, and she mentioned these. I'm like, oh my God, they were released this year. And it is these Tom Ford Cream Quads. I have it here, don't wanna blind y'all, in the shade Rose Topaz. This formula, this specific color story, it's beautiful. I've talked about it before. This is probably one of the palettes that I reach for the most every day whenever I do reach for like an eyeshadow palette, not just one of my like creams where I just pop it on and go. Color story, specifically this shade right here, is just so, so beautiful. You don't need a primer with these. You don't need a liner really if you don't want, because you could just go in with this deepest shade right here. And the formula is just so, so good. I'll eventually pick up some of the other color stories in this, but for now, I'm just so pleased with this one. And it's different than his wet dry formula. So like the Nude Dip and the Honeymoon Quads, this is more, well, obviously a creamier type texture, but so, so beautiful nonetheless. So next for eyeshadow is what I'm wearing on my eyes today, and you can probably guess, but it is these Half Magic Beauty Chrome Addiction liquid eyeshadows. I have the shade Sky Juice all over my lid, and then I topped it with the shimmer in Spirit Guide. I love these. Obviously, I don't wear them every day, but on the weekends when I want to just do something fun, I've really been loving these. And like, I accidentally ordered, I don't know how it happened. I guess I was just in such like a frenzy to order them before they sold out. I got 2 of this Spirit Guide shade, and I'm kind of glad that I did because like, it's really beautiful. Now this I can wear every day because, you know, it's neutral enough and you can kind of sheer it out on your lid like to wear to work. So that one I can. And I mean, look at that shimmer. I know it's not picking up on camera, but they're just beautiful and it's so much fun. I mean, makeup is supposed to be fun, and this definitely allows it to be fun. And I mean, I haven't heard like a ton of people talk about these, but I personally really like them, and I think that they're a great formula, whether you get the matte or the shimmer, and it's just fun, and it makes makeup fun, which is what it's supposed to be, and I absolutely love that. So last but certainly not least, I want to talk about lips. So the first product is very new, like a few days, but I have fallen in love with it, and it is these Rare Beauty lip liners. Y'all, I like these. I only got one. I got it in the shade Humble, but I think that I will be picking up more because I really like it. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna try to swatch it up here for y'all. I'm not gonna do like a full review of these or anything, but I still want y'all to be able to see it. It is just the most beautiful, like My Lips but better kind of shade. I did line my lips with it today and then put another lipstick on top. I didn't fill my lips in, but again, since I've gotten this a few days ago, I've worn it every day, and they're matte, okay? I will say that they are matte, but they're very creamy. They kind of remind me the most of the Sisley lip liners, okay? So if you're familiar with the Sisley lip liners, they're my favorite. They're amazing. These are like the Sisley, except a little bit more matte. They're still very creamy. They're very blendable. It wore well whenever I filled in my entire lip and put a gloss on top. It wore well when I filled in my entire lip and put a lipstick on top. And then today, so far, it's wearing really well. It's just to line my lips without filling it in and putting a lipstick on top. So, like I said, they're like the Sisley, except a little bit more matte, and I mean like way more affordable. I did find in looking at the shades on my skin, they lean very warm. Again, everything picks up warm on my skin, but like these were like extra warm on my skin. I was trying to debate whether I wanted this shade or the shade Worthy, and I thought Worthy would be cooler, but it still picked up warm on my skin. So I guess that's my only caveat, is that they lean kind of warm, but I think they're great. I really love them, and I probably, even though they lean warm, will pick up more shades. And last but certainly not least, I want to talk about my favorite lipstick release this year, and it is these Merit Signature Lip Lipsticks. I'm wearing it in the shade today called Baby. I lined my lips with the Rare Beauty and then used this to fill it in. It is just, I mean, this shade in particular, let me swatch it down here for y'all. It is just such a beautiful muted pink kind of color, but like kind of brown. And these lipsticks, they're thin, but they're pigmented, and they're like so moisturizing on the lips, and they just look natural. Like they don't look cakey. It's almost like a balm kind of formula, but pigmented, and I just think they're really beautiful. I was, not this shade, but they actually did send me 2 of the shades, and I'm so glad that they did. So I have this one, I have the shade Slip, Tiger, and Fashion, and they are all just really beautiful. This one's my favorite by far, but they're a really great and very surprising love of mine. That is all of my favorites in makeup this year so far. Let me know in the comment section down below if you love any of these products. What are your favorites so far this year? There really have been some great makeup releases this year, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the year brings. So as always, if you like this video, please be sure to hit that like button, and if you like my content, please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as part of our little fam here on YouTube. And if you're not following me over on Instagram, it's at beautybykaylak. I'd love to see you over there too. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.